Welcome Bullfrogs to Visual Art. Today we are going to be drawing a pumpkin together to continue our Halloween theme, and we're going to be focusing on pattern. And the big thing you need to remember about pattern is that they have to repeat themselves. So you pick one design and you continue to repeat that over and over to create your pattern. You're going to need a piece of paper turned landscape or long ways, and something to color with. It doesn't have to be crowns, and something to draw with. I draw on a marker so you can see my lines, but I would recommend a pencil for you so that if you want to erase, you can do so. Alright, I'm going to move my crayons out of the way, and I'm going to get my marker going here. We're going to start in this corner here with our pumpkin. So I want to draw nice and big, so I'm using all the space of my paper. So I'm going to start over on the left, and I'm going to bump in, and then back out, curve to the bottom. And then at the top, curve to the right. And then to close it off, I'm going to draw a long, skinny oval. And then to make the grooves in my pumpkin, I'm going to do more curved lines. Always starting from the same point, but ending in a different spot. And I can leave my pumpkin like this, or I can give him kind of a spooky face. Now remember, you're watching a video, so if I'm moving too fast for you, just pause, get caught up, and hit play again. Alright, so there's my pumpkin with his spooky face. Now I'm going to touch my pumpkin, and I'm going to draw 3 lines. And they're going to go out all the way to the edge. So I want to touch the edge of my paper with my line. So I'm going to start kind of near my stem here, touching the pumpkin, going up and off the top of the paper. I'm going to scoot over a little bit. I'm going to touch my pumpkin. I'm going to go up all the way to this corner. And then I'm going to touch my paper. I'm going to draw another line all the way off to the side. Each one of these sections here is going to be a different pattern, and we're going to go with Halloween themes for our patterns. So I am going to start in this big one here. We're going to make a big spider web. So I'm actually going to add another line all the way off to the edge. And then I'm going to pick a spot in the middle, and all of my other lines are going to come from that dot right there. So I'm going to touch the dot, come out to the edge, touch the dot, out to the edge. Just keep going like that. And then I can draw curved lines like this, connecting them. Or if that seems kind of tricky, I could just draw circles that keep going out and out and out. So you decide which way works best for you and go with that. Just make sure that they touch. I've got some lines that aren't touching, so I gotta make sure I go back and make them touch. Don't want to leave any hanging lines. Almost all the way around. Just a couple more to go. Alright, there's my big spider web. And then I think from the top here where I've got this big empty space, I'm going to have my spider creeping in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so there's my one pattern. I repeated these lines over and over again until I got my spider web. Alright, I like how that's filling the space. Over here I'm going to draw my bats. So I'm going to get an oval body. I'm going to touch the body and curve out. Touch the body, curve out. And then to connect it back to the body, I'm going to bump along. 1, 2, 1, 2, give him some feet and some pointy ears. And I'm just going to keep repeating that in this space because it's a pattern. So my bat is my pattern I am repeating. Drawing the same bat over and over again. And I can draw him falling out of the space if I want. So turn him different directions. Try to make them all the same size, but sometimes one looks a little bigger than the other. Maybe I've got a bat kind of creeping in over here that you don't see all of. Maybe I have a bat you just see the top of his head. Think about the pattern in your clothing. Sometimes you don't get the whole image when you get towards the edges. Alright, in my third section here, I'm going to draw candy corn, which are like triangles, but instead of nice pointy tops, they've got kind of rounded tops. So I'm rounding the corner instead of stopping to make that point. And then I'm just sectioning it off to 3 pieces. And again, I can have candy corn hanging from the top, from the bottom, falling off the edges, turn in different directions. I just want to fill my space. I'm not worried about perfection. Drawing's supposed to be fun. I just need to try my hardest. I think I'll stop there. For my last section, I think I'm going to make moon and stars, because a lot of times we go trick-or-treating at night, and when we think of spooky stuff, we think of the nighttime because it's really dark. So I'm going to draw moons, and then I'm going to fill in some of my empty space with stars. You can draw full moons if you don't like the crescent shape, because I know it's kind of hard to draw the crescent sometimes. So if you'd rather just draw a circle like a full moon, you can do that. Same with your stars. If you want your stars to look like dots, you could draw a circle for your stars. If you want it to look like the lines where you draw one line, cross it, and then draw the X, you do you. Whatever you feel like is going to be the most successful for your drawing. Alright, so I've got all my Halloween patterns in my background, and I've got my pumpkin. Now I'm ready to color. So I'm going to put my drawing tool away, and I'm going to get out my coloring tool. And when I go to color, I'm going to make sure that I color really waxy. I'm going to try to stay inside the lines, but I don't want to leave any white spots behind. So if my whole star is meant to be yellow, I want to make sure I'm coloring that whole star. Oh, let me think. I think white's in the middle, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to guess. Maybe yellow's on top, maybe it's not. I think people will still get the idea that it's a candy corn, even if I make the colors in the wrong place. Since I had my yellow, I decided to go ahead and keep using it rather than put it back. Maybe I'll make the eyes of my pumpkin yellow too, since I've got it. Pressing hard on my crown to make it nice and waxy. Trying to stay inside the lines, which can be tricky sometimes. But we gotta try. And not leaving any peepers behind. I don't want any large white spaces. Alright, I'm going to stop there with my coloring. I will finish off camera, take a picture of it, and post it for you to see as an example. And then I need to give you credit, I need you to take a picture of your completed artwork and post it under the assignment in classwork before you hit the turn in button. And I hope you enjoy. I had fun. Thanks.